Making games should be easy, right? Howdy, my name's Aiden, and yes, I'm a 17-year-old game developer. Well, not exactly. So far, I've only really created some fun little prototype games for me and my friends to enjoy. It's been a journey, and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's start all the way back in January. At the start of this journey, I was bursting with excitement, letting my creativity run wild as I reimagined all the games I had dreamed of making when I was younger. I bet many of you, like me, started playing video games at a young age and fell in love with not just the games themselves, but the thrill of exploring new worlds and tackling insane challenges. So, I guess that's just where my passion for making games started. After a few days of brainstorming, I decided I wanted to develop a platformer with unique controls and challenging gameplay, like Celeste or Hollow Knight, aiming to create something both rewarding and enjoyable for casual and hardcore gaming. However, this is when I encountered my first major obstacle. Game dev isn't easy. Even after simplifying and scratching out some of my ideas, this game still felt overwhelming. Somehow, even with this realization, I didn't give up. I just started by working on the first key element of the game, the movement mechanic. Looking back on it now, I don't know how I did that. I guess I just didn't really realize what was about to happen. And it was probably for the better. As the months flew by, unfortunately, I didn't have much to show for. Balancing grade 11 with game development proved challenging, because game development was just a hobby, so it was always getting pushed aside whenever there was schoolwork to be done. So the progress was very slow. But after about 6 months of trial and error, I finally finished the movement mechanic. I know, it took a long time, but I wanted it to be the best it could. But now that it was finally done, I was extremely excited to show my friends what I had just created. Watching them struggle on a level I thought was easy was a painful experience, to say the least. I hadn't realized how challenging the game was for someone experiencing it for the very first time, compared to me, with my countless hours of playtesting. Then, I asked for feedback, and he gave me the honest truth, saying, I don't like the controls. I feel like I can't land where I want or control my movements. It just doesn't feel good. That's really hard to hear when that was the only thing you were working on for the last 6 months. I bet you've had a moment where you've put your heart into something, only to find it wasn't received as well as you'd hoped. I wish I could have just brushed off the feedback and kept going, but that's not what happened. This was easily one of the lowest points in my journey. The feedback just kept echoing in my head, making it impossible to focus on anything else. Instead of simply fixing or improving the movement mechanic, I found myself stuck. I was locked in a mental battle with myself, unable to understand why the system I had just worked so hard to refine was disliked by someone. I began to second guess everything, and soon I couldn't create anymore. Over the last few weeks, I've had a lot of time to think. Through all those late nights, sitting in front of my computer, just unable to code, I realized something truly important. I still love making games. From designing my own games years ago to creating fun little projects for me and my friends, I loved every part of the process. The only thing holding me back was that I took the feedback too hard. I saw it as failure, but it wasn't. It was just a chance to make things better and keep going. So that's finally what I did. If we look back to when I just received the feedback from my friend, I was broken, defeated, and unable to continue. But now I do think that it was all for the better. because in hindsight, the movement mechanic really did suck. Like, truly. This is what it looked like. It was clunky and difficult to control, making gameplay frustrating. The new mechanic, on the other hand, is smooth and responsive, allowing players to maintain control even after launching into the air. It also creates some really cool new sub-mechanics that are challenging but extremely satisfying and rewarding to master. Now, with this newfound outlook on game development, I went back to my friend to show him the updated mechanics. He still found it difficult and wasn't fully entertained, but that's okay. That's when I realized that this type of game might not appeal to everyone, and that's perfectly fine. With my excitement to create back, I got to coding and made massive progress on the game, adding new features like user customization, a level select screen, and even online speedrun leaderboards. The leaderboards added an enormous level of competition and depth to the game. Don't worry, I'll be doing a full video on it in the future. The game is not finished yet, and I still have quite a few things to add, but I don't want to do it on my own. I don't want to do it on my own anymore. Because after all, the game's meant for you guys to play and enjoy. So if you have an idea for a new skin or level or mechanic or really anything, just leave it down in the comments. I would love to add your ideas into this game. Anyways, now that you're all caught up, I hope you take these lessons into your own life. To not get down because of setbacks. They're just a part of the process and a way for you to grow. So never give up on your dreams and just keep fighting because you can do it. So if you thought this game was interesting and you want to know when it's released, or you just love the story, then it would mean the world to me if you liked or subscribed, because my dream is to make games for you.